Hello from Pop Century Resort.
Woohoo!
So, this is being filmed after the Hollywood Studios video, but it's going to go up before Hollywood Studios, so
Stay tuned for that.
stay tuned for Hollywood Studios. But we are in room 4468 at Pop Century, so building 4. We are in a preferred room. We did not request poolside, but we are essentially kind of poolside. I guess we're kind of like splash pad
side.
Splash pad side. But yeah, very good location, I think, overall.
Mm-hmm.
Nice walk to the skyliner, about 5 minutes or so, and I would say about 5 minutes to the lobby as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, or the check-in area, I should say.
And there are elevators.
Yes.
We're on the 4th floor, but there are elevators available.
Yes.
Because that was a slight concern that we had.
Yeah.
Because Caribbean Beach didn't have the elevators in our
Right.
building, at least.
Right. So, nice little touch here. But yeah,
Let's show you around.
on with the room tour. From the front door. Just to the side here, we have our window, which it is dark outside, but we will show you our view and everything tomorrow. And then over here, we have our little quote-unquote cooler, somewhat of a LA refrigerator, like Caribbean Beach had. No freezer section.
We've done some shopping.
Yes, we have a bottle of water and an apple juice in there already.
What is in here?
Okay, so all the stuff for the coffee and tea, and there is a coffee maker as well right here. And there are cups and the ice bucket and this little
Oh, I forgot
shelf right
to
here.
flip the light. Where is it?
It's behind the one cup.
Behind the one cup. Where are you? There.
There we go. Yeah, there's a lot of lights in this room.
There's a lot of fun top lighting
Yes. So
in here.
then
Specifically.
next we have the TV and whatnot, and it is a fairly large TV for the size room that it is. This is a connecting room. We don't have anybody next to us that we know of.
We're not adjoining with anyone.
So we're going to keep that closed. A little strange, but the coat rack in this room is all the way on the other side of the room,
Yeah.
which I saw in another video used as a mask rack, which I thought was kind of a nifty idea for 2020, so why not? But just like Caribbean Beach, there is the kind of enhanced cleaning, and the remote is in its little plastic that says that it was cleaned.
Lots of outlets and USB.
Yeah, USBs on either side of the TV,
Mm-hmm.
which is nice. And then if I turn around, that is where the bed is.
And there's lots of underbed storage space available. You can put suitcases in there or under there.
Yes, there is quite a bit of storage under there.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the fun little Mickeys.
The pop art.
Yeah.
Tons of pillows.
Yeah, there's what, 8 pillows on this bed?
The little nightstands are fun because they have the kind of cubbies underneath.
Yeah,
More plugins and USBs by the bed.
true. On both sides. So there's 2 outlets and 2 USBs on both sides.
Mm-hmm. And there's
Um,
another on the other side.
Right.
And this
Because this is
a bed.
a bed. So let's unfold that.
Let's make an attempt.
Yes.
Oh boy. Okay, so the table folds. Oh, that's cute.
Okay, so unfolded.
Look how cute it is.
There are no pillows, so half of those pillows on this bed are going on this bed, or are meant to be used in that bed. But yeah, there's a fun little Pluto comic-esque
Very cute.
looking image there, which is nice. And when the bed is down, there are the 2 end tables on either side of it. So
I mean, these people have to share an end table.
true.
One is shared.
Yeah, this one would be shared, but there is the 2 shelves, which is nice.
Right.
But yeah, so this is the Murphy bed that we have in this room, which is nice. It is kind of cramped with the 2 beds
Right,
down.
It's definitely
There's
nice
not
to have
as
a-
much floor space anymore.
Yeah.
Um,
I think it's a great option.
yeah, because it
For
works if you
families.
have the 2 people or 4 people. So, and then onward over here to the bathroom.
There's a hi.
Hello.
There's a sliding door.
Yes.
And then sink, one sink.
Quite a bit of storage.
Didn't we have 2 sinks at Caribbean Beach?
We did have 2 sinks at Caribbean Beach. Quite a bit of storage here, which Caribbean Beach didn't really have a quote-unquote closet.
We had like a hanging bar.
Right. So this is nice with all the shelves and
it's a lot
the rack
smaller.
Here. It is smaller.
Than the closet space.
A lot of just space randomly in the bathroom. All these little like, cubicle things.
They went in really strong with the white cube theme.
Yeah. But just the one sink. There is quite a bit of storage underneath the sink as well.
There's a nice makeup mirror in here.
Yeah.
And in here is the iron and the hairdryer.
And the ironing board is behind you.
Yes.
Okay.
And then the bathroom.
And then the bathroom.
Toilet.
So, yeah, standard toilet. Something that's kind of different with Pop is instead of a shower curtain, it's a sliding glass door. So it does feel more spacious in this bathroom compared to Caribbean Beach, since that was our biggest complaint there.
I feel like the towel storage is a really big thing here compared to Caribbean Beach, because we both hit our heads on it because it was really big.
Right. Towel storage here is more of a bar versus like a shelf, which Caribbean Beach was a shelf. And like I just showed, the toiletry stuff is all pumps here, so not individual stuff. So, but yeah.
And here's the adjoining door.
Yes. That is our room.
So what do you think? First impressions?
I mean, compared to Caribbean Beach, I don't see the point of spending more to stay at Caribbean Beach.
At this point.
At this point, yes. We haven't slept here yet, so we will give our final thoughts on after sleeping here toward the end of this video. But
I think it's fun.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely... I'm pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, it's not overly themed.
But it has the nice touches. It
Exactly.
has the fun pop art.
I think this was renovated fairly recently, too.
Mm-hmm.
So it is new feeling in here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think we're going to do some Halloween decorating that we'll show you in the morning. And we'll show you more of the resort in the morning as well. But it'll be the same video. So stay tuned, and we will see you tomorrow. Okay, it is the next day now. So first thoughts on an overnight in the room. 2 complaints. It's loud. Very, very loud. We could hear people at the pool till about 10 o'clock when the pool closed. So there's that. You could hear like the luggage rolling past our door. And then you could hear our neighbors as if they were like in our room because of our connecting door.
I also think we might be staying next to the loudest people on the planet. But that's...
Possible.
That's just, I don't know. We know entirely too much about our neighbors. They had a long FaceTime call last night before bed.
Yeah. So very loud. It seems like the walls are very thin here. And
is that... If you've stayed at Pop Century, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, is that common?
Is this normal? Or are we staying next to the loudest people in the world?
Because we did do some searching and found that a lot of people have said the same thing, that it is loud. So let us know if you stayed here before.
Is that a by the pool thing specifically, or is it just all of Pop Century?
Yeah, so let us know. Complaint number 2, these beds are so firm. Very, very firm.
I didn't mind it as much, but like, I kind of used you as a pillow too. So
yeah, I was up quite often during the night. Very, very firm beds, but
tall beds.
Yeah.
You know how I said storage underneath? My thing is that I have to like vault up to get in bed.
Right. But the bathroom's nicer here.
Yeah.
Compared to Caribbean Beach, the bathroom is much nicer.
Rainfall shower.
Yeah.
Everything.
So there is that.
The air conditioning, the vent in the bathroom sounds like a rocket ship taking off when it gets going.
True.
But the hairdryer didn't work.
Yeah, so I had to call the front desk, and they ended up sending somebody up in probably about 5 minutes or so. So very
completely
fast.
Different hairdryer.
Yes, brand new one. So that was nice.
I think that's pretty much our take on the first night, right?
Yeah, I did look up the prices yesterday, and the difference between like say here and Caribbean Beach, it kind of depends on the season. But it ranged from what I found to be like about $60 to $100 a night difference. So is it worth it to spend a little bit more and stay in Caribbean Beach? Caribbean Beach was quiet. This one was not quiet. The bed was comfortable at Caribbean Beach. The bathroom's nicer here. So it kind of depends on what you plan on using the resort for. We'll give our final thoughts though at the end of this video, which is going to be out tomorrow. But I know I mentioned yesterday that we were going to be decorating. So something that's unique to the values and the moderates is the kind of outdoor hallways. Right next to the door is the window, so you walk past other people's windows, so it's common to decorate. So this is our window.
Cute.
Halloween decorations and whatnot that we got from the dollar store. So this little decoration cost about $3 total. So nice little decor for people walking by and whatnot. So yeah, a lot of fun.
Room with a view.
Yep, so this is our view from the room. Not much immediately because we are behind a little statue here, but just beyond the statue is the splash pad area, which is fun. This wasn't too busy last night, so not too fancy of a splash pad, but it seemed to be popular last night. And then just down here is the main lobby area, check-in area, and the hippy dippy pool, which is the center pool of the three. And it was interesting last night, it actually hit capacity, which I had not heard of before, happening at one of these resort pools, but I guess they had a certain number of people they can let in, and they ended up closing the pool around 8 at capacity, even though the pool closed at 10. So this is the pool, and then something about this resort is there's these kind of large statues, so we were like in the Play-Doh building, we're in the 60s building. So yeah, let's go explore the rest of the resort. So as we mentioned before, the 60s building, which is where we were staying, has the large Play-Doh sculpture behind us. And then across the pool, in the 70s building, is...
Oh, it's still 60s. It's the other 60s building.
Oh, this is still 60s, okay. Is Baloo and Mowgli.
Very cute.
Very cute.
Big.
Yes, very, very, very large. And then turning to our left is the hippy dippy pool, and then beyond that is the where it says pop is the check-in building, and then like
with the food and everything.
Right, and that has the quick service location and gift shop and all that kind of stuff. Again, here's our building with the Play-Doh, and then continuing to turn right
behind those dancing ladies' heads.
Yes, we were standing right there. Here is the splash pad, and then right beyond that is the skyliner station that both Pop Century and Art of Animation share. So staying where we were in a good spot, I would say. About 5-minute walk to both the skyliner and to the check-in building. So pretty central location, which was nice. There are 2 other pools in this resort, but those pools do not have access to a pool bar. Whereas here, turning again, this building right here with the flowers on it, that is the Petals pool bar right in front of the check-in area.
And
so
that's also a big spot for pictures, for Instagram, and across the way, like directly across from the pool bar, there's the other flower building, so you can get flower pictures there too.
Yeah, lots of fun Instagram walls in this area, so let's keep exploring. So now this is the 70s area, and there's a little foosball type of statues. There's a big wheel on that side, and then behind me is an old-fashioned Mickey phone, which is cute. Here's another look at the Mickey phone from a better view. So here's kind of a view of the whole resort. So again, we were in this building right here. This was this is like the main pool and the main check-in area, and the skyliner station is down here. We just saw the 70 station, and you notice there is no pool here, but the foosball kind of section takes over where the pool would be.
So that's something to keep in mind. If you want access to a pool easily, the 70s buildings might not be for you.
Right. Request anywhere but the 70s if you're looking for the pool. And most of the large statues are kind of by the quote-unquote pool areas, for the most part by the pools, except for the 70s, it's by the foosball station. So we're by the 80s right now, but we did find a statue that is not by the pool. Found Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head.
It's the future us as potatoes.
Yeah. So this is a lot of fun.
Very cute.
Nice little photo op here. And something else to point out that I think is kind of cool theming wise is the staircases here. So if you notice behind Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head, there's a Rubik's Cube. This is the 80s section, and that is for the stairs. So the staircase is actually themed as a Rubik's Cube. And then if I turn around, in the 70s section is an 8-track tape. It's not, of the staircases, it's not the best themed one. It's just kind of in front of the staircase. And then I'll show ours in a little bit. Ours was a yo-yo. Mm-hmm. And then in the 50s section, it's a bowling pin. So a lot of fun. So now this is the 80s and 90s section of the resort. To the right is the 80s, and toward left is the 80s, and straight ahead is the 90s. And if you can see, straight ahead of us is a Roger Rabbit statue representing the 80s building. And then as we round this corner, you'll see that the 90s statue is a large computer.
Laptop.
Yes. And I see some Mickey heads in the screen too.
On the floppy disk.
Oh yeah. And then to our left is another 80s building with a Walkman, which is a lot of fun. And something else that's cool is the buildings here are themed to be like Pac-Man too, with the ghosts and whatnot. Very computer and video game-esque. And there's also a very large keyboard in the sidewalk here in front of the pool. So here's a look at the 60s staircase with the yo-yo. And we also found another statue that's not by the pool. We found a Goofy with a surfboard and a car, which is cute.
Very fun.
Yeah. And we're going to turn to our right now and head back towards the check-in building. Okay, and then walking into the check-in building from the pool side. To the right is the quick service location, the Everything Pop, which is the dining and shopping. And to the left is all the check-in desks. Then straight ahead is for transportation. So here's a look inside the Pop Century gift shop. Seems like a lot of the same stuff, although it does seem that they have more of the retro line of things right now. A lot more of the tie-dye and just the vintage looking styles everywhere, so a lot of fun.
Oh, they have an ornament.
They do have an ornament, wow.
A specific ornament.
Did not expect to see that here. There is quite a bit of resort-specific merchandise here too, which is surprising being Pop Century. Didn't expect a value resort to have so much resort-specific stuff, but very cool to see. Okay, so probably one of the biggest downsides for Pop Century is, if you can see behind me, the line for the buses. So there are a lot of people here, and that line is probably going to be maybe 6 buses worth of people for Magic Kingdom alone. So yeah, something to keep in mind if you're staying here, that figure in some extra time for travel, or take your own car. So,
Or both.
Or both. So lastly, in the 50s section, like I said before, their staircase is a bowling pin. And then turning to my right, ahead of us is a lady statue from Lady and the Tramp. And once I get around this corner, across the way is Tramp. Here's a better look at Lady. And then turning to my right, there's actually a doghouse, because on the other side is Tramp. Then if I continue to turn to my right, that is the pool for the 50s section. And then across the pool is a jukebox. Lots of fun.
All right, so that sums up our stay at Pop Century.
Yeah.
So what are your final thoughts on Pop Century?
In 2 miles.
Overall, I would stay there again. Whether it's worth paying a little bit more to stay at Caribbean Beach is tough. It kind of depends on what you're using the resort for.
And what kind of vacation you want.
Right. If you're using the resort just to sleep, I think Pop's the way to go. I think if you're traveling with family, Pop's the way to go. I think the statues are kind of fun everywhere.
It's a fun resort.
Yeah.
It's definitely like, Pop is fun. If you want a romantic couples weekend, I would not suggest Pop Century.
Yeah, it seemed like
Stay in the
Caribbean
left 2
Beach,
lanes.
we had a lot more, we saw a lot more couples or
Adults.
adult groups, whereas this trip we saw a lot more just families, a lot more kids around. So, but I thought the room was very nice. Like I said earlier in this video, the walls were thin, so it was loud.
The main complaint for Pop is the noise. It is very loud.
And the bed's very firm.
And the bed is very firm. So it's not the most comfortable night's sleep you're gonna have.
Right. But with the access to the skyliner, that does make it very nice. Of all the values, I would say there's no reason to say anywhere else but Pop, unless you do Art of Animations. That's
right.
in its own little category. But the benefit of Caribbean Beach, so to pay that little difference, Caribbean Beach being right next to the Riviera is essentially like having a deluxe resort right at your fingertips. Everything you want and could use is right there.
All the restaurants, everything.
Everything but the pool, you can use Rivieras. So that is one thing to consider. If you want to spend more time at the resort, maybe a Caribbean Beach might be the way to go. If you want to save some money and not do a deluxe resort.
Keep left.
So some things to consider, but overall I thought it was very nice. I was very impressed by the room. I was surprised about how clean and how nice it was, and I know they redesigned it fairly recently, so.
Well, we had the air conditioner in the window at Caribbean Beach, and then walked in expecting the same thing at Pop, and it wasn't.
Right, there was a thermostat with central air. The rainfall shower was surprising.
Right.
So.
It seemed like, after being at Pop, it seemed like Caribbean Beach could potentially use an update.
Yes, I agree.
But I think it's definitely an option if you
North World Drive.
are looking for an affordable place to stay.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend Pop, for sure.
Just have a white noise app on your phone.
Yes, that did help quite a bit. And I would suggest a preferred room, just because
turn right onto Timberline
that puts you near the check-in building, because otherwise you could be way off.
Right.
It's nice being near the check-in building for the food, to do the refillable mugs, and for the skyliner being so close.
Mm-hmm.
So I would recommend doing preferred if you choose to stay at Pop. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for our little tour / review of Pop Century. So thank you so much for watching. And if you stayed at Pop before and you had the noise issues like we had, let us know in the comments below. But thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
See you real soon.